Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and in today's Battlefield 2042 video we're going to take a close look at one of the weapons that I think is going to be up there in the meta and could possibly take the top spot as the most used primary weapon. And before we really kick things off, I want to remind you guys that I stream 6 days a week on Twitch and on YouTube, so if you want to catch some Battlefield content live, drop a follow, drop a sub, and I'll see you on the streams. Right, let's get to it. So if you haven't been able to tell already from the gameplay, I am of course talking about the SVK, one of the marksman rifles. Now the SVK is unlocked at level 14, so it's not too much of a grind, but if you want to get used to how the marksman rifles work, then I definitely recommend using the DM7 in the meantime. So why is the SVK so good? As you can see from the description here, it says heavily influenced by Western counterparts, the Russian-made SVK is a gas-operated short-stroke DMR with a maximum effective range of 1,500 meters. Now, if you use the as standard ammunition, which is the high-power rounds, it means you can two-tap a target from 1,500 meters away. Obviously, it is quite difficult to hit a shot from that far away using a DMR, but it means that the effective range of this weapon is almost limitless. It's like a much faster firing sniper rifle. If you can get a headshot in, then you're almost guaranteed to clean it up, and generally, if someone is injured and you land just one shot on them, you're gonna get the kill. So let's have a quick look at the stats of the SVK. So the firepower sits at a very, very healthy 75. Now, full disclosure, I'm still yet to work out exactly what these statistical values mean, so it could be that it's 75 damage per shot. I can tell you for sure, because it is a two-tap, that it is 50% of the health of your target. And moving on to our accuracy, 76%. Again, I'm not too sure exactly what that means. The range, 79. It's very effective from long range, as we've already discussed, and the handling is down at 27. So the rate of fire of this gun is 180, which is far less than the DM7 at 300, so definitely using the SVK at longer ranges is going to be preferable. The magazine size is 5, but if you go from a full reload and hit reload again, you can have a maximum of 6 rounds before you need to do a subsequent reload after that, and it only has a semi-automatic fire mode. So what attachments should you be taking into battle with you? Well, the sight that I have found I prefer the most at the moment is the M22 3.5, although you can obviously, using the plus system, switch things around. If you want to go to close quarters, I'd recommend using a nice clean sight like the Fusion Hollow, or if you want to go for a little bit longer range, then something like the 4x scope. As far as the ammunition goes, you have the choice of the high power rounds and the armor piercing rounds if you want to take on some vehicles, but you can also use the standard issue rounds, which gives you 11 maximum bullets in the magazine. But the standard issue rounds do not do as much damage as the high power rounds, which means it takes it from a 2-tap to a 3-shot kill weapon. If we look at our underbarrel attachments, currently I found the best thing to use is the BCG light grip. Also, having the bipod as a secondary option could be a good idea if you decide you want to stay still for a little bit longer, but I like to keep on moving while I'm shooting, which definitely suits the BCG light grip. Now, I haven't unlocked all of the attachments just yet, but I think at this point I'm going to move on to using the rattlesnake light grip again to keep that accuracy while I'm moving. And the other underbarrel attachments like the 40mm high explosive grenade and the 40mm anti-personnel grenade, I'm probably going to end up avoiding. Now here's the big one, the barrel attachments. So far I've managed to unlock the extended barrel. I definitely recommend that over the factory barrel. It gives you a little bit more extended range, although it does bring the handling down ever so slightly. Unfortunately, with the SVK, the first suppressor you can unlock is after getting 270 kills. The next one after that, the wrapped suppressor, you need 330 with, but it looks like, because it's not showing it on the screen, whether this is actually true or not and the values do change, the 6KU suppressor and the wrap suppressor seem to have exactly the same statistics to it. So it will bring your power down from 75 to 70, but until you can reach using the suppressor and keeping yourself off the minimap, I definitely recommend using that extended barrel. Now, with most of the fights in Battlefield 2042, especially in all-out warfare in Conquest and in Breakthrough, happening at ranges that are way above 100 meters quite a lot of the time, having the SVK as your primary weapon is going to mean you're going to get a hell of a lot more kills than people trying to spray you down from that sort of distance. Take your time lining up your shots, let the sight return to its original position before you squeeze off the next round, and even on moving targets, the bullet velocity is pretty decent, so you should be able to track them even if they're running side to side across the screen. It's a very, very useful counter sniper tool, but I would be very careful when you're getting into close quarters unless you have good accuracy and good reaction times, especially when you're coming up against something like an SMG. The SVK is going to be pretty difficult to use, so swapping to your sidearm is probably going to be the best option, especially if you're in an interior. Now, I found coupling the SVK with one of the specialists like Irish to create your own cover is absolutely fantastic, and having that additional armor on spawn definitely helps if you start being hit by someone else using an SVK, for instance. Although someone like Boris, Angel, and McKay are also all very good choices, especially McKay because he's able to help get you up into some vantage points on some high ground and gain a little bit of an advantage over your opponents. As people are playing Battlefield 2042 more and more and leveling up to unlock the SVK, I've noticed lots and lots of more people actually using it, so I'd beware of how to fight against it. If you do notice you've been shot, hit cover immediately. The 2-tap time to kill is very, very quick, so make sure you make it very, very difficult for them to follow up that shot. So that's it for today's video. The SVK is the gun I think is going to be up there with the meta, and like I said, it's getting used more and more often, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see this more and more on the battlefield. If you found this video useful at all, please do hit that like button, drop a sub here on YouTube if you're new, and a follow over on Twitch, and make sure you jump into the comments and let me know what you think is the best gun currently in Battlefield 2042. Here are my Dame operatives, those of you guys who are supporting the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support, it makes all of this possible. If you do want to get involved and support the channel, I've got a variety of membership options and sub options over on Twitch. I'll catch you next time. That's Dame over. Peace.